Uh, hey guys, it's Jared Judy here for the Wrestling Revolution. I was just studying up on wrestling stuff. That was all right. I know there's nothing in the background this week, but I had a first take of the Wrestling Revolution for a midweek episode. I took it Wednesday, and first of all, my laptop webcam only shoots 10-minute videos, so I had to split it up. Second of all, it didn't piece together right. So I'm going to reshoot it, adding Superstars and Impact to the mix. So it's going to be about a two-part video, so make sure you watch both parts. And make sure, just like last week, you submit your questions at the bottom. Comment them, question them, type me up. And subscribe that way, I think. Maybe that way. Whatever way it is. Alright, but we have more news than this. We've got wrestling to talk about. Let's talk about the Bash first. Yours truly went 5 for 8. I mean, it wasn't a great night at the Bash, but it wasn't terrible. It was above 50%. So we had new unified tag team champion of the world, Edge and Chris Jericho. Teddy Long trying to make an impact, trying to impress Vince McMahon. It was a good shock, good surprise. And I like Edge and Chris Jericho, but I'd rather see them feud. So maybe this will be a way to jumpstart a feud for them. John Cena defeats The Miz. Was there any doubt? I mean, come on. The Great Khali defeated by Dolph Ziggler thanks to a Kane interference. It's cool to see Dolph Ziggler get the win. I'm a Dolph Ziggler fan. Also very cool to see, Kane come back. But Kane and Khali, we saw that 2 years ago at WrestleMania. Hopefully it's a short feud. Hopefully it doesn't even make SummerSlam. Intercontinental Championship. Rey Mysterio saves the mask and captures the Intercontinental Championship from Chris Jericho. Glad to see Rey get the belt back. With Chris Jericho in the tag team division, we'll see, maybe young challengers get title shots. Maybe Dolph Ziggler, John Morrison. It's going to be different to see who gets the next title shot. Women's Championship. Michelle McCool becomes the new Women's Champion. First woman to become Divas Champion and Women's Champion in WWE history. That's all I have to say about that one. The ECW Championship Scramble. Tommy Dreamer retained in a last-minute fiasco for the title. A lot of chaos in that last moment of the matchup. And let's see, Triple H defeated by Randy Orton in that 2 out of 3 falls matchup. 3 stages of hell for the WWE Championship. Legacy interfering at the end of the matchup, helping Randy Orton win. And, it looked like a decent match. It wasn't going to be a match of the night, but, it's like a good match. Main event, well, in my opinion, it should have been the main event. The World Heavyweight Championship. CM Punk disqualified for kicking the referee. Jeff Hardy wins, but CM Punk retains the championship. It was a great match up till then. Hardy hits the swanton. Boom, we thought it was there. And again, that close. Jeff Hardy could not seal the deal to become the World Heavyweight Champion. CM Punk, feigning the eye injury, kicks the referee. Accidental. On purpose. We don't know. Then, last Monday on Raw, Mr. McMahon announced the first guest host, Dave Bautista, the Animal. And Batista announced the Night of Champions tournament. First round action. Triple H defeated MVP. I wish it would have been a longer matchup. Triple H and MVP, it's something new. It's different. But Triple H gets the win and advances to the finals. Then it was John Cena, The Miz, the rematch, semi-final matchup. This was a decent match, actually. A longer match with a decent match to watch. Miz opened up with a lot of offense. Cena, rallied back against the face, got the win. So next week it is the tournament final. Triple H versus John Cena. The winner goes on to Night of Champions on pay-per-view to challenge the WWE Champion, Randy Orton. Also at Night of Champions, after the Fatal 4-Way Divas match, Mickie James will finally get her shot at the WWE Divas Champion Maurice. This one's been building for a couple months. It's actually a decent, women's feud. A good backing behind it. And we'll see Mickie James and Maurice go one-on-one at Night of Champions. Our main event, Randy Orton, was in a 3-man gauntlet. 3 of the 5 superstars coming to Raw in the 15-person trade. He first took on Evan Bourne. Evan Bourne, very, very impressive against Randy Orton. A good little matchup between the two, which was followed up by the All-American Jack Swagger, who got himself counted out. I guess that's what Jack Swagger, he respects Orton, he said, so he respected himself enough to get counted out. And the final man, the world's strongest man, Mark Henry. Mark Henry coming in, dominating and pinning the WWE Champion Randy Orton. Could this be a face push for the world's strongest man who, who really coasted on ECW? Even as the champion, he coasted. Well, let's see what happened with Mark Henry next week right here on Monday Night Raw. ECW. A lot of debuts on ECW. The debut of Yoshitatsu from New Japan Pro Wrestling. We didn't see a lot of Tatsu, though. He kicked Shelton Benjamin in the back of the head and pinned him. It's a big win for Yoshitatsu, beating an established gold standard Shelton Benjamin, but, a 5-second match really doesn't help anybody. Then with the debut of Tyler Rex, he's on backstage hyping up his match on Superstars, which we'll get to in a little bit. He would take on Zack Ryder. We'll get to that matchup in a little bit. Then Sheamus O'Shaughnessy. Now he's packaged just as Sheamus from Florida Championship Wrestling. Sheamus went one-on-one with a local jobber. It was a squash match, but Sheamus looked good. Sheamus now determined to be, the powerhouse, the powerhouse Irishman. Finlay gone, so Sheamus takes over that role. And just wait, Sheamus may be the next Jack Swagger of ECW. And then it was Abraham Washington, also from Florida Championship Wrestling, with his debut talk show with the Bella Twins. So, Abraham, I guess, going to be an interviewer? That's great. Main event was William Regal and Vladimir Kozlov actually defeating Christian and the ECW champion Tommy Dreamer. And, this could be the time for Vladimir Kozlov to finally get out of wrestling jobbers and wrestling for the championship. Same with William Regal. Regal was kind of coasting on Raw. Both these men look very good. They could be, in contention for the title. It brings new faces to the ECW title picture. Christian's still in there with Dreamer. So, the title picture on ECW is still, very coveted. And it could be changed up a little bit with new faces. And now we are going to go to the 15-person trade. This is probably the last part of this video, the first part of the show. I'm going to get to the 15-man trade because I'm about to run out of time in about 2 minutes. So, 15-person trade. To Raw, they pick up the high-flying Evan Bourne, the All-American Jack Swagger, and Mark Henry, already stated, with the 3-man gauntlet. Also, they pick up Gail Kim and Alicia Fox. Gail Kim, one of the most talented women wrestlers we've ever seen. She could be a legitimate force and threat to Marisa's Divas title. Alicia Fox, I have a feeling she'll be another Rosa Mendes, another lackey, as she was on SmackDown. ECW picked up William Regal, the gold standard Shelton Benjamin. They also picked up the Bella Twins. With Katie Lee Burchill being the only diva on ECW, now the Bella Twins come in and, it gives depth to the roster. And they also have the bizarre Goldust, which makes me wonder, what couldn't you do with Goldust on Raw that you can do with Goldust on ECW? Because, the Goldust character is such a unique, enigma. I don't see why there's a need for a move. He wasn't doing much on Raw, and I don't see him doing much on ECW either. But SmackDown picked up the Fighting Irishman Finlay and the returning Matt Hardy, which makes me wonder, why would you trade Matt Hardy back? Because the entire point of him moving to Raw was to get out of Jeff Hardy's shadow. But now you're putting him right back in Jeff Hardy's shadow. So, a lot to be answered on that one. And then finally, the best tag team, the Hart Dynasty. Tyson Kidd, David Hart Smith, and Natalya all moved over, which really boosts that tag team division with Crime Time, the Hart Dynasty, and Edge and Jericho in the same show. Look for more tag team action on SmackDown. Alright, remember, check out the second part of the video. I'm about to run out of time. Second part of the video, Superstars, Impact, and I'll answer your questions on the Wrestling Revolution.